This is a sports catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter, and welcome you to another sports catastrophe birthday boy for today, September the 16th. Unfortunately, there is no on this day because there wasn't any good thing, but this is a good thing. This is one of the best players in Expo's history. He's a former player. He played left field for 6 teams from 1979 to 2002 and best known for his 13 years with the Montreal Expos and being inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2017 wearing an Expos hat. 7-time All-Star, 4-time stolen base champion, and National League batting title. Raines is one of the best leadoff hitters and base runners in baseball history, but not the best. That's Ricky Anderson. Tim Braid's got a lot of scholarships to play college football. However, he decided to play baseball because Montreal decided they needed him. So they got him in the 5th round of the 1977 baseball draft. He was a pinch runner mostly in his first few games with the Expos, and then he went to second base in 1980, but switched to playing the outfield, which was rough for Montreal because second base for the Montreal Expos was a death sentence until Tom Foley kind of came along. He went to the outfield. It was a fan favorite because of his aggressiveness on the base pass. He actually stole 71 bases and set the baseball rookie record, despite the fact that 1981 was strike interrupted. Raines actually started out his career with 27 straight stolen bases. And unfortunately for him, he was the runner-up in the Rookie of the Year, voting to Fernando Valenzuela. So nothing too bad, but Fernando just had a great year. Raines had some bad performances in 1982. But in the end, Raines actually admitted he needed help. He entered treatment for substance use because he said he would spend $40,000 a year on cocaine. He didn't want to leave cocaine in his locker, so he carried it in his hip pocket and slid head first while running the bases. He used cocaine a lot to get him up and all that. But Raines got himself clean. He would testify at the Pittsburgh drug trials in 1985, but basically Raines kicked the habit. And then he finally decided, well, when he got clean. So he got 90 stolen bases. So that's not that bad. 90 stolen bases with 133 runs. Raines would steal 70 bases from 81 to 86. That's pretty good. And he won the 86 batting title with a 334 average. He had some great high on base percentages and a good slugging percentage. All that. Raines was a free agent, and no team would sign him. But this was when baseball owners would collude and not sign big players. And because he wasn't there, he wasn't allowed to negotiate with the Expos in the first month of the 87 season, which would cost the Expos because the Expos fell like 4 games short of the division. Raines would sign a 3-year, $5 million contract. And in his first game back on the Saturday game of the week on NBC at Shea Stadium against the Mets, even though Raines didn't participate in spring training, he hit a triple in his first at bat of the year. He would go 4 for 5, 3 runs, a walk, stolen base, and the big one, the grand slam in the 10th inning to crush the Mets. Without even having played in April, Raines actually led the Expos in runs, walks, and stolen bases, and in batting average too. So it's like, wow, that was weird. He actually was the hero of the 1987 All-Star game for the National League, hitting a 2-run triple in the 13th inning. He would actually get collusion damages from baseball, $865,000. But Montreal was trying to rebuild. By 1990, Raines was still a fan favorite, but Montreal needed to do something. The Expos traded him and a few nobodies to Chicago to the Chi Sox for Ivan Calderon and Barry Jones. Calderon would be a pretty decent Expo. Rain said he left Montreal because he wanted to win a World Series and didn't think the Expos had anything to do with it. Anyway, in his first season, Reigns did not hit that well. He did take second with the White Sox for runs scored, but anyway. He helped the 93 White Sox win the AL West, faced the Blue Jays in the ALCS. He actually did pretty good, scoring 5 runs for the White Sox, but the Jays won in 6. The White Sox would trade Reigns to the Yankees for future considerations. And Reigns won 2 World Series rings for them in 96 and 98. He actually signed as a free agent with Oakland in 99. But after a kidney biopsy, he was diagnosed with lupus and would have to go through treatment. The Yankees decided in 2002 to sign him, but then was released March 23rd. So he didn't really play in the 2000 season. However, Tim Raines would be signed in 2001 with the Montreal Expos. He had one of the longest standing ovations in Expos history. Raines did pretty well. He was inducted into the Expo Hall of Fame. Raines underwent surgery for an injury. He was rehabbing with the Expos AAA club, Ottawa. And as fate would have it, August 2001, Tim and his young son, Tim Jr., became the first father-son pair to play against each other in a professional baseball game because Tim Raines Jr. played for Rochester, which was Baltimore's AAA affiliate. Raines would actually get the chance to play in the majors with his son as the Expos trained him in Baltimore. Raines Jr. on October 3rd. That's weird. Well, anyway. October 4th, Raines Jr. and Raines Sr. played for Baltimore. Raines Sr. in left, Raines Jr. in center, becoming the second father and son team to play for the same major league team. The 1990 Seattle Mariners were the first with the Griffeys, Ken Sr. and Ken Jr. Raines would play with the Marlins. He was one of only 29 players to play in the major leagues in 4 decades. Anyway, career stats: he was a base stealing demon, 808, 4th most in major league history, behind Ricky Henderson, Lou Brock, and Ty Cobb. All just icons and everything. He holds a lot of records. He actually still holds the Expo/Nationals records for steals, singles, triples, and walks. So yeah, he had a lot of Expo records too. His number 30 was retired by the Expos. And yes, as I said, he got to the Hall of Fame in 2017. And yes, there was an Expos cap on his plaque. He had a lot of support. His first Hall of Fame vote was 24%. And it went up pretty much every year to 86 in 2017. That was the last time he could be inducted with the writers and all that without having to go to like Legends thing. So anyway, it was cute and all that. The Raines actually was a coach for the 2004 Expos in their final days in Montreal. Then he became a coach for the White Sox. He was the first base coach during the 2005 World Series title for the White Sox. And then he was the bench coach in 2006. He and his wife have 2 kids, Tim Jr. and Andre. But after some problems in 2007, Raines would divorce his wife and marry a woman from Arnprior, Ontario, and having twin babies in 2010. So yeah, Tim Raines was definitely Expos personified. And I know a lot of Expos experts would probably tell you a lot of things about how good Tim Raines was in the 1980s, but he was just a speed demon, and he is what the National League needed, some speed before Vince Coleman came along. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.